No problem, no problem. It's my fault because I was late. Hi, Facebook. This is your girl, Angela Thomas Smith. And today I am up close and personal with author. I'm not going to mess up her first name. I'm going to let her tell you her first name. But author Bradley, Jahzari, Jahzari Bradley. Um, we're having some technical difficulties today, so she won't be able to be live with me, but you'll be able to hear her. So I want to thank you for taking time out to come and be a part of Up Close and Personal with Angela on behalf of Aspiring Authors Magazine. I just want you to share with the listeners today just a little bit about who you are and your brand.
So, my name is Jahzara Bradley. I'm an author, and I am also an educator and I'm a science therapist. My gift is writing. I just really love writing of all genres. I used to do fiction, but I do inspirational. Um, I've been hired to write term pieces for people and dissertations. So when I say I love to write, I love to write.
Wow. So how long have you been writing?
I'm connected with you. My daughter has to come and help me, but I'm here with you. I've been writing since I was in elementary school. Since third or fourth grade, I've been writing. Kind of started in an interesting way. I was in trouble. She was put into what would be the equivalent of timeout. My teacher called it the we one corner, and she would put me over there. And so under this one that I got, I finished too quickly.
When
But then
you're
one
by
day
yourself
you're
and no
by
one's
yourself
expecting
and
you,
no
you
one's
finish
expecting
quickly. And she had the look of death on her face, like, what am I getting ready to do with her? So she gave me this composition book, and that's when I really realized that I had that writing in me. Okay, I'm not sure.
Good.
Okay, so yeah, I was hearing the feedback from the phone, and then it was like throwing me off. So yeah, that's when I realized that I had the writing in me and that skill. And so when I would come out of the corner, I would share with my classmates and everything, and they'd be like, "Girl, when you go back tomorrow, bring us something else to read." I'm like, "Well, dang, like one day I'm not going to have to go there." But that's when it really started. When I realized that I had that gift to write.
That should be better.
I didn't hear you. Just one second. TMC, turn the volume up. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Just give me one second. My daughter is helping me. These teenagers know way more about technology than I do. So I teach, and so a lot of times I have the tech guru in my classroom. I'm like, handle that. 'Cause I don't have the patience for it when it doesn't work. What happened? I'm sorry for the delay.
You okay? You okay? That happens. That's life. You know, we just have to improvise.
And it seems like it happens when you don't expect it to happen.
That's usually how it is. That's usually how it is.
Yeah, everything could be going by really, really smoothly, and then you're prepared for the bumps in the road. But then when you're not prepared for the bump in the road, that's when you get the bump in the road.
Yep, that's a part of life. But
Yes,
we have to take them lemons and make some lemonade out of them.
absolutely, absolutely.
But we're gonna keep it pushing because we want to let the listeners know, even when they tune in later, a little bit about you. And
Absolutely.
be echoing. We'll be okay. We'll get through it. It'll pass. I run into this all the time, so it's okay.
All right, cool. So it's not just me. I'm not alone.
I don't know. So we all have that problem. I'm telling you, my first time on the radio, I had so much feedback and so much echo. It was it was terrible, but I got through it.
Right.
We got through it. There was the longest 2 hours, but we got through it, and we gonna get through this.
Absolutely.
So,
Thank you
how long
again
have
for
you been
having me.
writing for a while? Have you always wanted to be an author?
Yes, yes. I think that wanting to be the author came from my grandmother. She would tell the most magnificent stories. They weren't like a Dr. Seuss type of things. These were stories that she created, and the characters were so inventive, their names and everything. And so my sister, she would do this, she would do this with the grandchildren. And so my sister, she would have her own set of characters. And I remember her characters were Mamie and Virginia. And then my youngest daughter had this character, Chess Finity. But anyways, my grandmother would tell these stories, and I mean, you would just be sitting there like on the edge of your seat, and you'd be like, give me more, and she'd be like, tomorrow, whatever. And I was like, man, I want to do that. I want to have somebody on the edge of their seat to want to hear, my story and want to follow my story. And so, even as a young kid, I was like, man, I want to do that. And so I think that's where that wanting to came from. And then being in that we ones corner, that timeout corner, let me know, hey, I got something to work with. I can do this.
I think I used to be in that corner, and I
Yeah.
liked that corner. It wasn't that I was really bad. It's just like I started school when I was so early, and I just knew a lot of stuff. By the time I was in kindergarten and first grade, I already knew how to write. I already knew my ABCs. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of stuff that they were teaching me, I would rush through my work. It would be right, but I would want to play with the toys.
Hmm. And that's one thing that I had to learn as a teacher. Like, you're going to have some kids that are going to finish early or before the lesson is over. You're going to have some who need longer time, but you better have a plan B for that person that finishes early, or else, I had a couple who could be hell on wheels, if they didn't have anything to do. And you could just imagine, like, I'm done, so now I need something else to do. So yeah, I had to learn that early on. You better have a plan B in case somebody finishes early.
So, do you have any advice for those that want to write?
Absolutely. A lot of times I get questions just like that, what do you suggest to somebody who wants to write? And the thing that I say, and it may be sometimes it's shocking to people when I say it, but I'm like, just write. Just do it. Like the Nike commercial, just do it. Don't worry about it needing editing or polishing up. You're gonna get an editor to do that anyways. They're gonna polish that baby up so good, but just get your story out. Just write it down. And it varies for me, even with my writing process. Sometimes I'll just get to writing, and then sometimes I'll go back and revamp and then move on. But I think the key is just to really writing, because if you spend too much time going back or revamping, the story doesn't move forward. And so you could get really stuck in a chapter or whatever. There have been times when I'm like, you know what? It's time to move on. How many times are you going to retouch this up? Because again, it's still going to the editor. You're going to have another set of eyes or two or three look at it, especially if some details are off or, just don't really flow. So I would say don't get too caught up in that revamping. Of course, you're going to, the first copy, like I tell my kids, is always your sloppy copy. So you're going to go back and fix that, but just don't get stuck.
So, what do you do if you have writer's block? Because I know writer's block, it's been coming up with a lot of people here lately.
When I have writer's block, I have a literary mentor, and she every now and then sends out these amazing writing prompts. I bought a writing prompt book for myself, and my daughter has one too. I'll pick out a writing prompt for that. Um, there's something that I do sometimes just to distract myself, which is doing a tongue twister. It's something about it that just gets my brain wired in a different way. And so when I do that tongue twister, which is really calming for me too, especially if it's been stressful, then I can get back to it. Something I learned in college. I call it a bonus thing that I learned in college. I took an acting class. And so what we would do before we would go into the acting or whatever, just to warm up and relax ourselves, we had to do Peter Piper. And every time whoever could do Peter Piper would get bonus points for their grades. So I learned how to do Peter Piper in college without messing it up. So it's pretty cool.
So
What is
your motivation
your
for writing?
motivation for writing?
Um, just to tell a really good story. I I want to tell a story that's so good where you, because I read books a lot, so I love to read. So I want to tell a story that's so good that you would be like, okay, it's midnight or it's 1 a.m. I know I need to be asleep, but I need to see what's going on with these people. I want these my characters to be almost like second nature, almost like your family. Like, what's going on with my girl so and so and so and so. So it's just really to tell a good story that will keep you captivated. And the other thing is to really leave a legacy for my children, and when they have children and so on and so forth, they can be like, hey, Jahzara, that's, we come from that family line. It's in our blood to write. So just to leave something for future generations.
And that's an
And
amazing
that's
legacy
an
to have.
amazing legacy to have.
I am
I am
one of the only
one
authors
of
in
the
my
only
family that
authors
I
in
know
my
of.
family that I know of.
So it is
So
amazing to be
it is
able to
amazing
leave
to be
a
able to
legacy.
leave.
But I know you do
But I know
something
you do
outside
something
of,
outside
and I received my
and I
gift,
received
and
my
I want
gift,
to show
and I want to
Awesome.
everybody
show
mine,
everybody.
and I'm gonna
And I'm
enjoy it.
gonna
I ain't
enjoy
want
it.
to use
I
it
ain't want
yet.
to use it yet.
See,
See?
see,
Nice.
this, I won a
I
contest
want a contest
from Zari
from
when
Zari
she was
when
doing
she
the
was
virtual
doing
book tour.
the
She was on the virtual book
on
tour
the virtual book tour
last week,
from
and
last
it
week.
smelled so
And
good.
it
I shared
smelled
it
so
with my
good. I
sister.
shared
I
it
let
with
her
my
smell it.
sister.
She
I
said
let
it
her
smelled
smell it.
so
She said
good.
it smelled so good.
I
So
want you to
I
tell
want
them
you
a
to
little bit
tell
about
them
your
a little bit
business.
about your business.
Okay. So my business is called Tranquil Bliss. I'm also a massage therapist, and true story, but kind of funny about it, and it's almost humbling when I think about it now. Some 15 years later, yeah. My daughter, my youngest daughter, may have been about 4 or 5 months when I started massage therapy school. So I took massage therapy, and we did what was called an externship, not an internship, but an externship, but the same type of principle. And so you go into the shop and then, or the spa or wherever it was, and you were to work on clients. And so when I get to this place, well, first off, I was at another place, which was by like a truck spot. I hated that place. And so I guess at that particular place, there was some happy ending extra stuff going on. So my school was like, you can't go back there anymore. We don't want our students being subjected to that. So I go to this new place. And so when I get there, the lady, she's, very warm and friendly and nice. And so I'm like, okay, well, when do I start working on clients? And so it was kind of like this long pause, and I could see it on her face. And she was like, nah, we're going to have you do something else. I'm like, do something else? Like, I'm supposed to be here all day working on clients. And she was like, oh, we'll still sign for your hours, but yeah, I'm gonna have you do something else. And I'm like, huh? So she takes me like in this area, which I would call the lab. I have a place where I work at. I call it the lab when I'm making products. And so she showed me how to make body scrubs. She showed me how to make body oils. We talked about candles, all kinds of things that you could use for relaxation and aromatherapy. And she said, you can make these add-on things and send them home with your clients, because everybody, when they leave the spa, they feel really good. and they want to take a piece of the spa with them home. And so this is what you do. So she's, selling me, trying to sell me on this idea. And the whole time I'm fuming. I think I was there for like 8 hours. And I was like, I know good and doggone well I didn't come here to make body scrubs. So I'm fuming. I'm mad as I don't know what. But she's going to sign for my hours anyway. So some years later, maybe 8 years later, it wasn't until that I decided to, I was like, I was buying body scrubs and I was buying oils from other people, and some of them were awesomely amazing and some of them were like a hot mess. And I'm like, it don't feel good. The consistency is not just right. And some of the scents, I'm like, where did they get this from? Like, there's no way I could put this on a client. And so it took me back to that moment. And I was like, hey, I know how to do this. And so, I brought the skills out and I was like, yeah, I can do this. And then, people started telling me, hey, that's really pretty cool. And so I began to do that. And I've always liked candles. And so I had a friend tell me, she was like, you should start making candles. I'm like, no, I don't know if I got the patience for that. But yeah, so then I started doing the candles, and just to let you know, with that candle that you have, it burns down into an oil. You can take that oil and massage it into your skin. Now my daughter's right over here. You can't see her, but she's shaking her head because she already knows, like, the tagline that comes next that we have here at Tranquil Bliss, which is, we are not responsible for what may or may not happen 9 months later as a result of you and all that oil and massaging it into your skin. We are not responsible. But yeah, that's a great bonus of the soy in that candle, though.
It is, and I'm
It
gonna
is,
enjoy
and I'm
mine.
gonna enjoy mine.
Absolutely. You better. And if you need another one, just let me know. We'll send you
I
another
thank
one.
I thank you for it.
Well, I love to
Well,
support,
I love to
so
support. So
I'm sure you're gonna be getting some
I'm sure you're
orders
gonna be
because
getting some orders.
I posted
Thank
I
you.
posted
I posted
your feature on the
your
website,
feature on the
so
website. So
people can
people can
find out information
find
about
out
you and how they
information
can
about you and
purchase
how
your
they can
product.
purchase your
But before
product.
we leave,
But before we
I want you
leave,
to share
I want you to
with the
share
audience
with the audience
how they can get in
how
contact
they
with
can get in
you,
contact with you
and some of
and
your books.
some of your
We
books.
didn't talk about
We
any of
didn't
your
talk
books. We
about
just
any of your
talked
books.
about you
We
as
just
an author,
talked
but we
about
didn't
you
say
as an
anything
author.
about a book.
Okay. Okay. So really quickly, we'll talk about the books. The first set of characters that I have are Malachi and Nairi. I had to retire them in 2017, but there's a book series. The Love She Longed For is book one. There's book two, Chaotic Bliss. You can only get that from me, so you have to contact me directly. Book three is in paperback. It's called My Love Won't Last Forever, His Wife. And so Nairi and Malachi are really like, if two people never belong together and end up together, that's these two people. And they have so much drama and chaos. And so at the end of book one, I had people really emailing me because it came out in 2008. They were emailing me. They were hot. They were mad as I don't know what. They were like, I don't understand why you didn't kill Malachi and he don't deserve to live. And I'm like, well, in real life, just because somebody, irks you, you don't get to kill them off. So this is why he didn't die. Um, I have two anthologies. One is called Crazy Faith. The other one is called Never Would Have Made It, a testimony of what God has done in my life. Those are on Amazon. And the latest book that came out on April the 30th is called Love of My Life with brand new characters. It's a standalone, Gia, Infinity, and Taboo. And they have a lot of chaos and drama going on too. I love those characters though. Taboo was the hardest one for me to write because I never really say that I hate anybody, but because this guy is not real, I think I can say it and be okay with it. Like, he really just, man. Like, have you ever heard somebody scratch their fingernails on a chalkboard? Like, that's what he does to me inside. He really like grinds my gears. And
Wow.
I'm Jahzara Bradley on Facebook.
So our time is
Our
running
time
out.
is running out.
Blog Talk. So I'm gonna
Blog
end this
Talk. So I'm gonna
blog talk,
end
but
this
we can
blog
continue
talk,
on
but we gonna
StreamYard.
continue on StreamYard.
Okay, cool.
So, all my listeners,
So
I want to
all
thank
my
you guys
listeners, I
for
want to
tuning
thank you
in
guys for
this
tuning in
afternoon.
this
Come back
afternoon.
tomorrow,
Come back
and you will
tomorrow
be
and
able
you
to
will
chat
be
with,
able to
I
chat
think it's
with,
Lovey.
I think it's Love.
No, I'm sorry,
No, I'm
Francis.
sorry,
Dupree
Francis
will be on
Dupree
tomorrow. We
will
will
be
be
on
live
tomorrow.
at 3 p.m.
Live at 3
tomorrow. So
p.m.
catch us
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
So catch
Y'all
us
have a
tomorrow.
wonderful
Y'all
evening,
have
and
a
I want to
wonderful
thank you for
evening, and I
tuning
want to
in
thank you for
with
tuning in with
Jahzara Bradley.
Jahzara Bradley.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
No
At our
worries.
time when it's out on Blog Talk, they had started making their announcement. But I want to continue the conversation because I want people to know about your book and how they can get in contact with you.
Okay. So I'm Jahzara Bradley on Facebook, Jahzara Bradley on Facebook. On Instagram and Twitter, I'm Literary Jahzara. And if you want to go to my website and check out our products, they are at www.tranquilbliss.net.
And you're on Instagram, Facebook, and do you have a website?
Yes, it's the
What
website
website?
is. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
The Tranquil Bliss.
Yes, that's the website.
Okay. But they can follow you on the feature website for Aspiring Authors Magazine because you are featured. You are a featured business on that
Yay!
website. So you have to go. You have to send some of your people to check it out so they can see you featured on the site.
I
But
definitely
I have
will.
enjoyed talking with you. Um, I've been following you since you did the virtual book tour. I like to keep in contact with people that come across my platform because I like to continue to support them. So, like I tell everybody, if there's anything that I can do to assist you on your journey as an author or to promote you as a business owner, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always available. You may not see me, I may not be visible, but I'm always available. I want to thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
your
much.
time.
I just want to thank you for even allowing me to be on your platform on Mother's Day. That was so awesome. I had a wonderful time. Thank you.
Thank you for taking time to participate because I know it was Mother's Day, and I wanted to thank you for taking time to be a part of the platform.
Thank you again.
Want to come back, just let me know, and we'll have you back. Go over and check
Sweet.
out our magazine. Um, we have a lot of things going on, and I have two other shows that I host, so I could get you on as a guest. I'm on Fedora Radio on first and third Sundays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I do an inspirational show called Walking Purpose with Angela, and I invite people to come on and share their journey being an author and how they're walking in their purpose, whether it's being an author or a business owner or a community leader, whatever you're doing. I like to share what you're doing and how you're walking in purpose. I'm also on ONE Dynasty, a part of a Damon Network. It is it's broadcast from Lagos, Nigeria, and I do it every other Thursday. So this Thursday I'll be on at 8 p.m. If you're not doing anything, come check me out. You can call in, ask some questions, get to know me, and get to know my guests. We have a fun time. It's a great conversation time. It's down to earth. People call in, they ask questions, they chat. It's just like we just be having a normal conversation. It's not like a regular interview. So I enjoy being on that. I enjoy being on that station. It's very laid back, and I have a nice time. Is there anything that you would like to leave with the audience today?
Um, just be awesomely amazing. Everybody has their own path in life and everything, and just be awesomely amazing in what it is that you do. Um, that's about it. Just be awesomely amazing.
That's it. Be awesomely amazing. Walking in purpose on purpose. Because walking in purpose on purpose is my thing. So I want to thank you again for your time. I want to thank you for participating in the platform. And I want you to have a wonderful, blessed evening.
You too. Thank you again. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye
You
bye.
too. And tell your daughter thank you.
I will. She is so